Welcome back to our Mastery Tips and Tricks show. I am so grateful to be here with you. Today, we are talking about how to reduce stress and improve performance with Jacqueline Stanley, Certified Practitioner and founder and creative director of Stanley Care Wellness. So thank you so much for being here, Jacqueline.
Thank you so much for having me, Heather.
I'm so grateful to have you. So Jacqueline is an incredible nutritionist, breaking ground with her new supplement website, her one-on-one coaching, the diagnostics, and so much more. And she's also one of our Own It Collective clients. So we have incredible tips to share with you today on how to reduce your stress and improve performance. And we're talking to you, high performers, because we know that the stress comes along with all the things we need to do. And if we can control that inner world, it helps the results on the outside. So Jacqueline's going to share all about that with you today, as well as she's going to share a little bit about her experience working with us inside the Own It Collective. And without further ado, let's dive in and let's share a little bit more about you and what you do.
Thanks, Heather. So I'm a certified nutritional practitioner. I help high-performing individuals to improve their health through the power of functional testing, diet, supplementation, and lifestyle adjustments. I am also dedicated to educating and inspiring my clients so they can make their own informed choices and support their unique needs and goals.
I love that. And wellness really is a unique approach and a holistic approach that's required because everybody's different. There's really no cookie cutter approach. And we all need to treat ourselves like a whole mind, body, soul, and spirit to truly have those quantum leaps and massive results and that quality of life and health that has us waking up excited for the day instead of dreading the day, right?
Exactly. Yes, yes, because everything is all connected. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. And so without further ado, let's dive into your tips. So you've got 3 incredible tips to help people reduce their stress and improve their performance and really truly own it. So let's take it away. Tip number 1.
So that would be definitely physical activity. I know at times, sometimes we feel tired and you just think, I can't. But if you just give yourself that extra push, like regular physical activity, even just basic like walking, even some, stretching, yoga, can also help to reduce stress. It helps with the hormones and it helps to release endorphins. So physical activity, we got to try to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And my coach, she always used to say, if you're tired, exercise.
Yeah.
And there's this guy, and he does this reel on TikTok or whatever, and I just love it. And all they are is go to the gym. Go to the gym. I don't know if you've seen it, but every time I see it, I'm like, right, go
Yeah.
to the gym. Because when we exercise and we move our body, not only can we help move stuck energy and clear emotions, we can, our heart is a muscle, and it's when we exercise, we actually strengthen that muscle, which helps increase the oxygen supply, the blood supply, the nutrient supply, and all the happy hormones that come along with it, right?
Yeah. And you really do feel better after. You really do.
Yeah, they call it the runner's high for a reason.
Yeah.
I went for a run this morning and I felt like $1,000,000, even though it was really, really hot out. And the before and after, like before, I did not want to run. I just knew it was in my calendar. I had made the promise to myself. It was hot and I was going anyways. And I'm
Yeah.
sore because I did weightlifting at the gym yesterday. And I know how much better and how much more awake I
Hmm.
would feel today and how much more energy I could bring into all my sessions today if I moved my body this morning. And so that's exactly what I did. And so I love that your number 1 tip was physical activity because I think a lot of people discount the
Yeah.
benefits of it.
Hmm.
Right? Like before we take any medication for anything, are you regularly exercising? And if not, that's one of the best ways to improve your health. So absolutely love it.
Yes. All right.
All right.
And then I would also like to add in deep breathing. The diaphragmatic breathing, it calms the nervous system. So that can help too when you have like a stressful day, or even if you're having a stressful day at work, if you can just take a few minutes and just do the breathing exercises, it helps so much on the nervous system as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. And oddly enough, I just did breath work before we did the podcast. I love to follow the Wim Hof method, and he has some short, like 10, 11-minute videos on YouTube that you can do for free that does guided breathing. And we know that so much comes from deep breathing for the relaxation of the nervous system, and also just to help us be present. I find for majority of time, our minds are off in the future, wondering where everything is, off in the past, and the shoulda, woulda, couldas. And
Yep.
one of my favorite things about breath work is it brings us back to center. And one of my favorite breathing techniques, actually, we learned when one of our working with traumatic brain injuries was if you double the length of the exhale, it actually helps reduce the stress response in the body. So inhaling for 4, exhaling for 8. And so everybody breathes. I understand that. It's just, when was the last time you did deep breathing? Most people, when they're stressed, they are chest breathing. So they're only very shallow breathing, and we end up in what they call startle, where you actually start to look like a rounded turtle and have shoulders for
Yes.
earrings, right? And we do chest breathing, and that's where we can tell when we're stressed. And the diaphragm actually starts to move up under the rib cage, and then we start to have this like expanded rib cage, and we can't even contract our core or belly breathe. And so you would be surprised how many of you think you deep breathe, but yet you do shallow breaths and you're doing stress breathing. So I dare us, why don't we all just try it right now? Why don't we inhale for 4 and exhale for 8? Ready? In for 4 and out for 8. 4, 3, 2, 1. Doesn't that feel lovely? Imagine,
Amazing.
right? Now imagine you did that for just 2 to 3 minutes, how much it could do for your nervous system. And I had one more favorite thing about breath work. When you do that diaphragmatic breathing and you're contracting your core, it pushes the fluid up the spinal canal to your pituitary gland, which is actually your switching and receiving station. So it has crystals in it that act like magnetics.
Right.
So if you want to increase your manifesting powers and your magnetic body and your point of attraction, then breath work is one of the best ways to do it. And Joe Dispenza teaches us all the time, like, you have this magic little thing in your head, yet we never really accessing it because we're all doing this shallow breathing and stress breathing. And so when we can increase our deep breathing and do some breath work, you can actually increase your manifesting and your point of attraction. It's like magic.
Exactly. Powerful. The body is amazing.
It is really amazing, and we don't know what we don't know until you learned you didn't know it. So I bet you didn't know you had a switching and receiving station in your brain that you could activate to increase your magnetic body and your point of attraction. And one of the only ways you can do that is breath work.
Here we go.
I love it. So let's dive into tip number 3.
That would be mindfulness and relaxation. So, meditation. I know that sometimes when we hear the word meditation, some individuals are like, I just can't do it. I just can't. It's taking too long. But even if you just try again, basics, even 5 minutes, or even just thinking of mindfulness, that can help. And if you are able to meditate, 5 minutes will do, again, just to help to decrease the stress, increase the emotional regulation in the body. You'll feel it. You'll feel the difference.
And if there's anything she just said, to increase the emotional regulation in your body. Are you tired of being triggered and reacting to everything and everyone around you? It's because you're not in a state of relaxation and your threat load is on overload. And one of the only ways to bring it down is to bring yourself back into that present moment and reduce the stress. And being mindful just means being present and being the observer instead of reacting. And relaxation and meditation could look different for everyone. So there's moving meditation. A lot of people say, I can't sit still for 5 minutes. No problem. I don't do that good with that either. And so before I did my breath work, I did a 5-minute meditation. And I did it as a moving meditation. So I just did, they call it like nonlinear stretching. I just stretched in my body what felt like I needed to stretch, followed my breath, and listened to the affirmations in the meditation.
Yeah.
Dancing can be a form of meditation, running, yoga. It doesn't mean you have to sit in silence. And there is magic sitting in silence, because often there's many layers of the onions of the unconscious mind, of traumas and beliefs and things we're holding on to, that we refuse to move through, and we bury them. And
Yeah.
when we sit in silence, they all start to come up.
Mhm.
That's why nobody likes meditating, because it's actually like a self-awareness process. And what we get to do in meditation is learn to be the observers. So the thoughts are always going to be there. They say, I think the average is only like 2 to 5 seconds now that people can hold their attention. We're like a fish in a fishbowl because of all the technology and everything that we do, and the dopamine and the 7-second reels. And so if you can just hold your thought process on, I'm observing, and allow the things to pass instead of getting involved with them. And then you can observe, oh, that's still upsetting me. I wonder what's upsetting me about it. Instead of jumping in, making a story, having a fight with that person, and yet they're not there. None of that's real. And you made it all up in your head. Right? So instead, we're looking to be the observers. And so mindfulness just means taking that eagle eye perspective,
Mm.
coming into the now, and being the observer of our thoughts instead of getting involved with them, giving them a meaning, making a story about it, and changing our emotional state. And so you can find a way. You can find a way that works for you. I know a lot of busy CEOs, they refuse to sit down for 5 minutes in silence and do breath work and mindfulness and meditation because there's something else they have to do.
Yeah. Busy, busy, busy.
Right. And imagine if you took 5 minutes to do breath work and 5 minutes to do mindfulness and meditation, how much better and more productive all the things you're going to be doing would be. Right. So this is what we call like the slowing down to speed up, the
Yes.
working smarter, not harder. It's
Yes.
taking that full holistic approach.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Amazing. Let's dive into tip number 3.
So I have healthy lifestyle choices. So I always like to touch on a balanced diet. I know we're very busy, but it can still be very simple. Anything that you find that could be very nutritious to have, that will be something that you can look into. And once you have slow releasing carbohydrates, that helps stabilize your mood and your energy. If we can kind of stay away from like a lot of caffeine, white sugar, things like that, because I find that that's when you find your energy is kind of going down, and that's when you're reaching for something.
Like a roller coaster. We ate the sugar and then it went crashed down. So we got to get more, and then it goes back up, and then we're back down here. So we get another coffee, and then just like an energy roller coaster all day.
And then by the time you look around, you probably had all 5 to 7 cups of coffee for the day. And then you wonder why you can't sleep, because again, it's just all the energy and the caffeine. So if we can really try to just take small steps again, and just ensure that you're eating something that's going to really help to stabilize your mood and your energy, that would be great to help you throughout the day.
Yeah, one of my favorite sayings is eat to live. So it's like eating so that you can survive,
Yeah.
not live to eat. And I love food, and I know it's part of our culture and social events and everything. And we can still choose the healthier choices, and you can still have a party with food that stabilizes your mood instead of puts everyone on edge. Right? There's the different options, and we really are what we eat, and food can really, really impact our mood and energy levels massively.
Yes, yes, that is so true. Which again, a lot of individuals, we don't realize that, but yeah, your food is key.
Absolutely, it really, really is. And so actually I've put in, where there's chips in the house, I put a bowl of fruit. So like, here's your other option. It's there. You just have to make that decision, right? And so sometimes setting yourself up for success like that. When there's chips and fruit, you'll grab the fruit, where if I had to go up the stairs because the chips are by the TV, right? And I have to go up the stairs to get the fruit. But if you put the fruit down
Mhm.
in with everything else, where you're going to be taking that break, you just making those little habit changes that set you up
Mhm.
for success, compound over time, make a big difference.
Does. It absolutely does.
Well, yeah,
And
absolutely.
one of my best things would be to improve your sleep. As we were talking about caffeine and everything, sleep is number one. So I have a gift for you today. You can grab your free gift on 5 ways to help improve your sleep. And Heather has it in the description below. But yeah, again, if we can try to get at least 7 hours of sleep, 7 to 8 hours, by the time we're sleeping, that's when the body is repairing itself, the body's detoxifying itself. So without sleep, it's very hard. And that's why too, sometimes you're feeling low energy, you're feeling exhausted because your body is not getting time to repair itself. So we have to sleep. It doesn't matter how busy we are, we have to sleep.
Absolutely. And I love this saying, have you rested enough to show
Mhm.
up as your best self
Yeah,
instead of have you worked hard enough to earn the rest? Because just think of yourself on a day of like 4 hours of sleep versus a day of 8 hours of sleep and how you show up.
yeah,
And the number one thing is exactly what you said. This is your time for your body to rest, recover, and repair.
yeah.
And unless you give it that time, then we're constantly running on an empty tank and
Yeah,
cell degeneration instead of nurturing those cells and allowing them to repair. There's
exactly.
so much I'm learning about sleep that's super cool too. Just a side note, I learned that we're like not in our body. We are astral traveling through different planes for about 3 hours of the night. And there's so much that happens. Our unconscious mind actually will process many things for us while we're sleeping, so that we can wake up with a clean slate. And if we don't allow ourselves, if we're having all that coffee and we don't actually get into that deep REM sleep, and so even if you're lying in bed for 8 hours, you're not getting that deep sleep. So everything that she's already told you about is going to help you get into that better sleep. And then again, it's getting that like 8 hours of rest. So say it takes you about 15 minutes to fall asleep and 15 minutes to wake up, then you need to give yourself about 8.5 hours in the bed,
Right.
so that you have a solid 8 hours sleep. And there's a lot of neuroscience behind the real importance of those 8 hours, and to protect them just as if it was the time you were seeing a client, because that's your recovery time and you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Exactly, exactly.
And I want to talk a little bit about there's something new that you've added in that you're doing with your clients, a diagnostic testing. So tell us a little bit more about this, because I know a lot of people are just wondering, like, I don't feel good, or I have this reaction, or I have this allergy, or I have this rash, or I have
Mhm.
this strep problem, yet I just don't know what it is. And they're trying all the things. So you've got an incredible new tool that you can support them with. So tell us about it.
Yes. So we offer functional testing, which we have test kits. So we do food sensitivity testing, hair mineral analysis testing, and hormonal testing. So yes, I found that sometimes you would find, just as you said, Heather, you're having irritation on your skin, or you have hypertension or arthritis. This could be caused by foods that you are eating, because it's causing inflammation in the body, then it's being directed to certain areas in the body, and then these conditions and disorders are um, reoccurring from this. So once we have these tests done, then we can actually see where we need to work on, and from there, you'll definitely feel better. So yeah, those are the tests that we're currently offering right now.
And as a fellow nutritionist, I know that working with a nutritionist is essential. I know that I went to nutrition school personally to save my life. I was unhealthy, and my doctor said, "Well, you're the healthiest person I'm going to see all day. What do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Well, I feel like I'm dying. So I suppose I'll go figure it out myself." And when I went to nutrition school, the thing they talked about the most was like, what is the root cause? And so that's what that diagnostic testing does. And that's what holistic nutritionists get to do for you, is they help you get to the root cause instead of just giving you a pill or a band-aid or a strategy or something that will blanket it for a while. And often it comes back worse because you didn't take care of the underlying cause. As nutritionists, that's our number one goal, is to get to that root cause, that underlying cause. Because usually if you can name it, it's not it, it's usually something else. And that way we can have that full health, and we can have the full health spectrum come back all the way, instead of putting a band-aid on something and then it popping out over here as another problem.
And also too, to eliminate the trial and error. You're taking this, you're doing that, you're doing it's just, yeah, it just
And that can be tiresome and expensive.
yeah, exactly. So this is a really good strategy that we have in place. And so far, we had a lot of great results from our clients. They're just very happy. They're feeling their best, and this is how we want to live our life. You want to feel good. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear that? Don't you want to feel good? No one wants to wake up tired, exhausted, bloated, swollen, in pain, dreading the day because they have a full schedule because they're a high performer, yet they seem like they're waking up with an empty tank every day. It doesn't have to be your norm. And I'm speaking from experience because pre nutrition school and healing all the root causes, I lived in burnout mode. And that's how I got to that unhealthy. And that was one of the root causes, was sometimes you just have to slow down and listen to your body.
We really do.
And so listening to these tips, we're going to move better. We're going to practice some deep breathing. And sometimes it could literally just be 3 breaths, could change your whole day. It's a mindfulness of it. And then mindfulness and relaxation and meditation. And then making those healthy lifestyle choices like a balanced diet and getting good sleep. And then if you're sitting there going, well, what's my root cause? Then you're going to make sure you want to connect with Jacqueline. We'll have her website there for you guys, as well as you're going to want to make sure you grab that free gift, the 5 ways to fall asleep. And this is going to help ripple effect into all the areas of your life. So you're going to want to grab that free gift now. And then Jacqueline was there anything else you wanted to add into that?
Well, basically, I just wanted to say this is your key principle. I say, oh, yes, I'll say your key principles to a successful, healthy, and happy life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it truly comes from that full holistic approach.
Yes. Yes.
I love that. So now let's dive into a little bit about what your experience has been like working with us. So we actually went to the same school at different times, and we were connected through the school. And I'm so proud and grateful of what you've created and what you've built. So tell us a little bit about the website and your one-on-one services first, and then you can tell us about how you've built that out and what it's been like working with us.
Okay. So yeah, so my website is an online health and wellness store. So we have all of our supplements, our health and beauty products, and we also have a section for our one-on-one nutritional coaching packages. So I do offer a 3-month package along with a 6-month package, and then our functional testing kits as well. So that's our site in a nutshell. And working with you, Heather, well, like, where do I begin? At first, when I was just basically starting everything, there was just so much to do. I didn't know where to start, what to do. I was just like, I was being pulled in all areas. And then, within your program, I've learned, how I should work in steps. I have a solid plan with lots of guidance from you, Heather. Like literally, Heather has been holding my hand step by step. I've been like, Heather, what do I do here? So like Heather's attention and expertise is phenomenal. So that's just where I am right now. I've learned how to create my marketing plan, and I'm really seeing how it's impacting my social media platforms by getting in front of other ecosystems, and just really teaching me how to think, as an owner. So that has been a wonderful experience. And I just want to say, if there's anyone listening and they're thinking of Heather's program, don't waste any more time thinking. You have to just dive in. If if you're looking to grow your business and your health, your well-being, and your mindset, Heather has some wonderful, wonderful principles on that. And the Own It program is wonderful. I just can't say that.
Absolutely. And you're actually in your second 6 months with us inside the Own It Collective. And we're so grateful to have you continue working with us. And so, in all the time that you've been with us, what do you think is your favorite thing that you've learned and implemented that's helped you the most?
Um, I would have to say definitely the holistic side of it, the well-being, my health, and my mindset. That would be a tie with the overall business, but that would be it, because just really focusing on yourself and knowing what direction you're going to go into, but still knowing that you have to take care of yourself as well. It helps so much.
I also second that too, because as business owners, we start to put ourselves on the back burner and we're like, we got to get this done. We got to get this done. And then we feel like we're like this Humpty Dumpty just slowly falling apart
Yes.
because we forgot about us. And so putting ourselves first, carving our time out for ourselves, and then also taking that full holistic wellness approach where we really, really work on that mindset.
Yes.
Because as entrepreneurs, we're doing what 90% of the population is not willing to do. So it is a little bit of a mindset battle. And we're creating something from nothing, which is so cool and incredible. You're an inventor, an entrepreneur, you're a world-class leader. Like it's exceptional. And then some days you wake up and you're like, how can I? And that's why when we have the whole community to come together to remind us like why we're doing this, what we're up to, the impact we get to make, and the legacy we get to leave, and what we get to create is so incredible. And so it really is, it's self-mastery, it's business mastery, and we work on you, not just your business. And we're going to help you build your dream life around, and your dream business around your dream life, and not the other way around. Because I was the entrepreneur in the beginning. That was the last thing that was taken care of. I worked 7 days a week, 18-hour days, 3 businesses, 3 contracts, no more time to trade, absolutely in constant burnout mode. And when I really started going, listen, the only way you can thrive and scale and grow is if you put you first.
Yes.
And I put my self-care appointments in my calendar and I hold them just like there was a client coming, because that fuels us to serve everybody else.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's exactly what you just taught us all about today. So I love that. And it's such an honor to work with you. I'm so proud of what you created. And I can't wait for everybody to be shopping from your store. So it's stanleycarewellness.com.
Yes.
And you can go and check that out right now and grab yourself some incredible supplements. And if you're looking to learn more about getting some one-on-one coaching to up level and own your health and wellness, so that you can improve all areas of your life and truly show up as your best self, you can go on to stanleycarewellness.com and learn more. And there's the functional diagnostic testing as well as the one-on-one, and you can also shop. And if you're not sure what supplements to get, then that's exactly, you might want to start with that functional diagnostic testing with Jacqueline, and you guys can get to the root cause, and she can give you a protocol to help guide you so you can stop guessing and start crushing it.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you so much, Heather. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all your help and support.
It's honestly, it's my honor and my pleasure. You're such a pleasure to work with. So thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your incredible tips and energy today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So remember, everybody, stay happy, healthy, wealthy, expect magic and miracles. And what is the best that can happen? We'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.